Okay, this is our assisted squat. So finding a doorway would work fine, something that's stable. So we always typically would say walk in between a doorway, grab the actual trim that goes around the door, or grab the door. Make sure something's very solid. You could even, a heavy chair or something to sit into. I'm just going to use something like this, like a pole. I'm going to, again, pat my hands up just a little bit. I'm going to gradually let myself sit back. So I'm trying to really open and crease up, open my hips. And when I think my sit bones are kind of like tractor beams just drawing my pelvis down. I'm going to think like a magnet being pulled to the floor. And I'm going to sit down. Okay, so I'm taking myself down to the point of all the way. If our knees and hips, ankles, things like that, our back doesn't allow that, then we're going to prop ourselves. I'm going to talk about that. With sitting down, we want to make sure that our toes are relaxed, the weight of our foot. We're sitting in and we're really letting our sit bones open. This is great for opening the lower back, opening the hips. How we have our feet, I'm having my foot pointed straight ahead of my knee in the same direction. Now, you could have your foot out. You could turn your feet out. You just need to make sure that the knee goes the same direction as your foot. But starting off, you might want to just start with whatever's a natural position for your foot, but make sure your knee falls in line with how your foot is. Foot, knee, hip. And we're usually lining that up with the first, second toe to your center of your kneecap back to your hip. Okay? So then what I could do is I can also reach my hands up a little bit higher and really sit down more, and I feel like this is stretching my back a lot more. Okay, really opening that area out. And I can play around with my foot position. All right, so then if I want to come back up, I grab hold and I start to pull, and I'm pushing with my feet, and I'm going to stand all the way back up. You would do somewhere between 3 to 5 of those, and you could work up to 10 times, okay? I wouldn't do a ton of these, especially if you're not used to doing it. So maybe start off with maybe 1 to 3 times, what's comfortable for you, and then you can build up over time. Now another thing you could do is get you a stool. I'm going to turn this stool up like that, and I can do the same exact thing. I can sit myself down to maybe that's a stretch for me, okay? Maybe that's enough for me today, okay? So for every individual, you could go lower or higher depending on your ability. You could even just get a chair if that's a lower, maybe a low setting chair. And when that becomes easier, I can bring myself down. You could even use couch cushions underneath you, pillows, things like that underneath you to get a little bit lower. Ideal is we want to get to where we're totally down and maybe hands down and maybe not holding on as much, okay, to where we're sitting, okay? And then from there we walk right back up. Now again, like I said, we can allow our back to stretch out, really feeling my lats here on the sides, feeling my lower back and hips open up. And then we walk right back up. Like I said, a doorway works great. So try this out. And again, this is great for opening the hips, the lower back release, and make sure, prop yourself for your knees, your hips, your ankles, your lower back, using pillows, a stool, things like that for yourself. Okay?